Today is the second of the 2 Christmas movies that I have penned in for 2024, and as you can guess as well from the lack of Christmas decorations around me, your girl is not a Christmas girly, so could I tell you what Christmas is supposed to be like in Finland, which is where today's movie is set? No, I absolutely could not. But if you don't know anything about Rare Export's A Christmas Story from 2010, let me quickly fill you in. Rare Exports from 2010 is a Finnish horror comedy. On Christmas Eve in Finland, Santa Claus is unearthed by an archaeological dig. Soon after, children start disappearing, leading a boy and his father to capture Santa, and along with the help of fellow hunters, they look to sell him back to the corporation that sponsored the dig. And then there are Santa's elves, who are determined to free their leader. If you're new here, I go by Hordes, and if you're not new, welcome back! I talk about horror movies here on my channel on Mondays and Fridays, but as always, when it comes to watching movies that I have never seen before, I am now going to go and watch Rare Exports from 2010 off camera, so that way, if you want to watch this Finnish version of A Christmas Story, nothing will be spoiled for you, because nobody wants to watch a movie that you've just watched somebody else watch from start to finish, and I keep it spoiler free here on my channel because nobody, and I mean nobody, likes spoilers.
Why are you naked?
Naked? What?
Random fact about this movie that I spotted: there isn't a single female character in this, so it immediately fails the Bechdel test. It is just men and their snowmobiles, so just going off that, I did not fancy their odds of survival from the get-go. This plot is like 2 stories that are simultaneously running alongside each other and then converge at different times. The first is what's going on top of the mountain with the archaeological dig. So the Americans, because yes, it's the Americans, causing as much chaos as they did in Attack of the Lederhosen zombies, causing chaos on top of the mountain trying to dig up Santa. And at the bottom of the mountain down here is a widowed father and his son who are having to deal with these sort of altercations and the aftermath and everything that is being caused by the archaeological dig on top of the mountain. The son is adorable, and his one friend with the horrible mullet can get in the bin. Like, what a vile little urchin he is.
The dumpster's here, it's here!
This is a slow burn movie. If you're not new here, you'll know my feelings about slow burn movies. I don't mind them, but at the moment I think I've just watched too many of them in such a short period of time where I'm a bit burnt out on a slow burn movie. And this is such a slow burn movie that the best part of it actually kicks in at the hour mark. And including the credits, this movie is only 1 hour and 24 minutes. So yes, I am saying for me that the best part of this entire plot was the ending. The Santa part in this is like if you took Santa and Krampus and put them in a blender and took away the horns and hooves. It's that kind of mash-up, which is going to work for some people, but is not going to work for everybody. And I will say that the missing, like, Santa's presence, no pun intended, is missing for a good chunk of this movie. But when Santa does turn up, I have a few issues with this, and I'm going to try and explain, because I'm hoping that people who have seen this movie can give me a bit more clarity.
Scooby-Doo, take note.
There is a part in this where the elves turn up, and the elves are all full-size, naked, beardy men over the age of, I'd say, 65, and they all love the smell of children, which is, yes, as creepy as it sounds. But the father and son in this, they catch one of these elves who conveniently isn't an elf. Like, everybody else got a visit by an elf except this father and son who happened to get a visit from Santa who looks the exact same as the, like, how do you know that you've got Santa? Like, if he looks the same as all the others, how do you spot him in a crowd is my question. And because of this, I feel like Santa should have stood out more, like, make him obvious that this guy isn't one of his own minions. You get what I'm trying to say here? I guess I'm just confused as to why Santa looks the same as his elves and happened to be doing the same job as his elves by sneaking out at night with the wooden doll to try and steal children. Surely you'd be at HQ giving out orders. You wouldn't be out there naked in the snow with your minions.
I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand.
Did I have a herd of bare-ass naked running elves on my 2024 Christmas bingo card? No, I did not. And I also did not have full frontal Santa on that list either. So all I can say is, if you got that on your bingo card, congratulations, because this movie will allow you to tick them both off. The humour in this just wasn't for me, and I want to say that this is possibly a language thing. As somebody that does not speak Finnish and is trying to read the subtitles in English, it might just be because I'm not familiar with Finnish culture that a lot of these jokes I was just not gonna understand. So the verbal side of this, that humour just didn't work for me. But there are the odd moments of physical comedy which I can appreciate, because Santa wrapped in plastic wrap, suspended on a meat hook, swinging like a children's playground swing in a breeze, that I got a crack out of. Visually, this movie is beautiful. You are talking big open snowy landscapes, and then there are lots of muted natural colours, and the colour red is used in such a way that it always stands out within the scenes. And like, it's a Christmas movie, like they were ever going to pick any colour besides red to be the colour that stands out. You see Santa wearing red at one point, the sun happens to wear a bright red hat, the boss of the American conglomerate happens to be wearing a red scarf. Red is just the colour that pops out absolutely everywhere. If you're a big fan of cinematography and soundtracks that are paired really well with what is happening in a subtle way where it doesn't overpower what is happening, then you will enjoy that side of rare exports. But on the topic of visuals, the CGI in this, if you've seen it, you'll know the scene that I'm going to talk about. When the herd of bare-ass naked elf men are running through the snow and they all look a little bit uncanny valley while the helicopter's doing its thing. Like, if it's a bit like if you've seen the Polar Express, it was the first movie to ever use motion capture to make an entire movie, which is why everything has got that like uncanny valley dead behind the eyes thing and everybody's movements are a bit weird. That is what the CGI in this is giving me, and I don't think that's for me.
This is the Polar Express!
I don't think that this one is going to be for everyone, but I think those of you that will like this movie will love this movie, because it's just such a different take on A Christmas Story. But in the end, I am going to give Rare Exports A Christmas Story from 2010 a 2.5 out of 5 stars, because I love the visuals in this, but the plot up to the last sort of 20 minutes, just, it wasn't really for me. It found its feet for me once the whole, like, we'd like to return your Santa part of the plot kicked in. But my opinion isn't the only one that matters, which begs the question, should you personally watch Rare Exports from 2010? If you like your horror movies flavoured with slow burn plots, small family dynamics, different takes on A Christmas Story, snowmobiles, questionable deals, muted yet bold colour choices, like lovely snowy landscapes, anything that is listed right here, then you are absolutely the sort of person who will get something out of Rare Exports. So there you have it, my initial thoughts and my review for my first time watching Rare Exports from 2010. If you've also seen this movie, I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it down in the comments section down below. And if this is one that you are interested in watching, I will also leave a link to justwatch.com in my description bar like I always do, so you can find out where it is streaming in your country. If you would like to know where else you can find me though, I am also over on Instagram and Letterboxd at HordesOfHorror, where I've watched 190 horror movies so far this year, so there is plenty that I haven't spoken about right here on YouTube. But speaking of YouTube, I'll be back on Friday, and let's just say you will want to bring a snack, you will want to bring a beverage, because it is going to be a long video that has been in the works for the entire year. I am ranking every single 2024 release that I watched and telling you exactly what I rated them. So until next time, bye.